Welcome to Silverstone for the first rounds of TCR UK. Now, history is going to be made this weekend as we have our first ever race winners and the championship certainly getting up and running. TCR is massively successful internationally and it's finally here. Yesterday's qualifying session was really a story of changeable weather and drama right up to the dying seconds, and we're hoping for much more of the same as we head into the inaugural race. But what is TCR and how did it come to the UK? Well, yesterday I caught up with TCR UK founder Jonathan Ashman to find out.
I've been working with Marcello Lotti, who was the inventor of TCR, for many years. We did the World Touring Car Championship together, where I used to look after all the rules and regulations from the FIA's side. Marcello handled all the commercial side on World Touring Cars. And both of us had in the back of our minds that there needed to be a new type of touring car racing. And Marcello took that idea forward and really came up with the concept of TCR. No motorsport is cheap, but TCR is very affordable as a touring car racing, and a lot of the guys here couldn't dream of doing any of the higher levels of touring cars because the cost difference is so enormous. But the more professional guys are all looking to say, well, hang on, the future of touring car racing, if I want to get to the top of it in the world, maybe I need to keep an eye on TCR in the UK.
Now, yesterday we had an incredible qualifying session with drama up to the last second, and here's a quick look at what happened. Well, the first story from qualifying is that one of the cars has not made it out. Derek, what has happened to the car behind?
Well, we had an issue with injectors. We had a faulty injector yesterday. Being Easter weekend, we had great difficulty locating one, and after chasing from one end of the country to the other, we finally located one about 50 miles from here. So we've got a new set of injectors heading in at this minute in time, but we're not going to make qualifying.
We're only about 5 minutes into qualifying. You can see Lewis Kent is going on to slick tyres, a dry line emerging on track. That should bring the times down. He's currently about 5th as well, so looking good. Maybe, just maybe, a pole sitter. We'll find out very soon. Well, 10 minutes into the qualifying session, Dan Lloyd has just set a fastest time into the 102s now. He's on slick tyres, which tells us the track is really starting to come back to the drivers now. Well, Josh, we just seen you talking to Finley. What words of encouragement are you giving him?
Go as fast as you possibly can, because no one has any idea what the weather's doing at the minute. So, yeah, you just got to go out there and go for it.
Well, 6 minutes to go, and a lot of the drivers on slicks. In fact, most of them full slick setup. But the rain has started to come again. It's everyone trying to second guess the weather, and the weather seems to hold all of the cards. On that last lap, Dan Lloyd has taken it by 0.2 of a second. Incredible first qualifying here in the TCR UK.
Yeah, it was exciting. Not an easy session, not straightforward. We knew it wasn't going to be because of the weather conditions, but we didn't even expect that. We took a gamble earlier on to go on slicks on the front and wets on the back, and then it was drying, so we went to put some fresher set on, which would have been perfect. That was going to go good, but then it started spitting, dropped off by like 3 seconds, and I thought, that's it, it's over. And it started coming back and finding big chunks of time, and so I really set myself up to make sure the last lap counted. It was a good lap, and yeah, over the moon. I'm glad it did the job.
Months of build-up and anticipation is finally over, and we're about to find out who will be the first ever TCR UK race winner. So straight over to our commentator, Andy McEwan.
The start of a new adventure in touring car racing in the UK. TCR UK, it's been a long time coming, it's finally here. And not one of us can predict what is going to happen over the course of the next 30 minutes or so. Confirmation of your grid then. Dan Lloyd and Aidan Moffat on the front row of the grid, separated by only 2/10, but hard to read too much into that due to the fact the conditions were so changeable yesterday in qualifying. Howard Fuller, very emotional after he qualified on the inside of row 2, and he's got Lewis Kent alongside him, who until about 30 seconds from the end of the session, it looked like would be on pole position himself. The green flag has been waved at the back of the grid. The revs start to rise. The lights go out. Now we are away and racing in TCR UK. Good start made by Dan Lloyd. Darrell Wilson a bit sluggish away from midfield, but it is Lloyd that will lead down towards the Copse corner for the first time. Moffat into second. Who comes through in third? It looked like Lewis Kent was challenging on the inside line, and Lewis has taken third place. Ollie Taylor there in fourth, but immediately Lloyd and Moffat starting to streak away. Kent third, fourth place for Taylor, and Carl Swift is attacking for fifth position as well. Those DSG cars do get off the line well. It's actually going to be Andreas Bachmann though who comes through to fifth. Swift is sixth. Howard Fuller is the one who's lost out there. Started third, he's down to seventh. Ollie Kangas, the yellow car, is in eighth position. You see the drivers weaving left to right down the Wellington Straight, trying to get some last minute temperature in their tyres, and Moffat's immediately on the attack up the inside of Dan Lloyd into Brooklands. It doesn't quite pay off. Behind them, Ollie Taylor has gone third. So Lewis Kent slips back down into fourth place, and Ollie Taylor, who was quickest at the pre-season test here at Silverstone a few weeks ago, is starting to make his presence known. Derek Palmer there has found a way past Stuart Lyons as well, so he's already making progress, but he has had virtually zero running all weekend in the second of the Laser Tools Alphas. One lap completed. Dan Lloyd leads the way by just under half a second over Aidan Moffat. It's then a further 2 and a bit seconds back to everybody else trying to be third. There's Carl Swift. He's attacking Andreas Bachmann, the Finnish driver, as the Swedish driver, excuse me, as they come out of Copse corner for the second time, and it's third place on back where it's all starting to get quite interesting. Carl Swift will be made up with this. Oh, Kent's a bit wide. Bachmann thought about going up the inside of him. That did not pay off. He backs out of the manoeuvre. And look out for Howard Fuller there, the black and fluorescent blue car starting to begin the fight back after his slightly off start. Down the back straight they go, and in fact, it looks like he's attacking Carl Swift as Andreas Bachmann goes up the inside of Lewis Kent again, and he's through. Brilliant performance this is from Andreas Bachmann. He's through into fourth position, and Lewis Kent is down to fifth. He's now coming under pressure from Carl Swift, who will be loving being in the fight for a top 5 position. Replay of the start here. You can see Finley Crocker further back getting a really good start in the white, red and black Honda, but at the front, Dan Lloyd got a textbook getaway. Howard Fuller didn't appear to get too bad a start, but then maybe just got hung out to dry through Copse corner, and that's why he started to lose a bit of ground. He's fighting back though now. Fuller into sixth, in behind the Hyundai of Lewis Kent. That's the orange and white number 38 car just in front of him, with Ollie Kangas not far behind either. Carl Swift, I noticed though, has dropped down the order, and this is why. Wow, that was close. Oh, what a shame. Carl Swift, I just said, was doing so well. Just lost it under braking into Brooklands and was lucky not to collect Lewis Kent on his way around. Kent defending. Fuller dives to the inside. What a move from Howard Fuller. Can he stop the car on the brakes? Yes, he can. Kent runs a bit wide as well, but Howard Fuller goes through into fifth position. That was pure confidence on the brakes. You would not believe this is Howard Fuller's first competitive race in 3 years, and that was the move of a veteran. Fantastic stuff from Howard, and he moves himself into the top 5. Leaders flash back through again. There's Ollie Taylor in third, and this is the battle for fifth, and now it's Ollie Kangas looking up the inside of Lewis Kent as well, down towards Copse corner. This is for sixth position, and it's all starting to fall apart slightly for Lewis Kent. Oh, there's been a contact. Kangas sideways off onto the runoff area. Brilliant car control that from Ollie Kangas, as you'd expect from the Scandinavian, but that has scattered the pack now. Look at this. Lewis Kent, Finley Crocker, Darrell Wilson, all right together, and it looks as though Lewis Kent maybe is going to get back in front. Yes, he is. Finley Crocker gets a run on the pair of them, though, coming out of Beckett's corner, and Darrell Wilson says, I want to play too. Where can I go? There's room for 4 cars abreast down the Wellington Straight. Well, he's certainly going to try it, isn't he? 3 abreast at least we have, with Kent on the inside and Crocker going right around the outside. Phenomenal move from the Scotsman, but he's a bit late on the brakes. Lewis Kent comes back at him. What great racing we're being treated to here at Silverstone, and Kent is back in front. Fantastic stuff. Oh, bit of paint traded. Crocker back up the inside. Finley Crocker and Lewis Kent side by side through Woodcote corner. This is all playing beautifully into the hands of Howard Fuller, who's cleared off from a 6-car battle that's raging for 6th place on back, and it's Finlay Crocker who gets into 6th. Kent and Darrell Wilson now side by side for 7th, and also joining in is Jessica Bachmann, sister of Andreas Bachmann, running in 4th place, and Derek Palmer in the 2nd of the Alfa Romeos. Oh, Darrell Wilson! Contact with Lewis Kent, and Darrell Wilson is off into the gravel trap. What a shame. That was such close racing, and you sensed eventually maybe there was going to be a bit of contact. Replay immediately of what happened. They're side by side, they're braking on a turn, and it's really difficult to run side by side through that braking zone. And I think Darrell moved left, Lewis moved right, and unfortunately it's the Vauxhall Astra that finds its way into the gravel trap. Dan Lloyd back through, there's Aidan Moffat. The gap's now grown to 2.4 seconds between the two of them. Oh, speaking of Alfa Romeos, that's Aidan's teammate Derek Palmer. And sadly, that car that's been plagued with issues this weekend is in the pits and going into the garage. This, meanwhile, is Finlay Crocker, and he has almost caught Howard Fuller. Again, taking 1 to 2/10 of a second out of Howard every lap is Finlay. Now, Finlay is racing the latest specification Honda. This is the new Shape Civic, but he really has come on strong. He felt that the only chance he would have to be right up at the front would be if we had a wet race. Well, it's bone dry out there, and he's closing in on a top 5. 5-second time penalty for Carl Swift for exceeding the track limits. Now, he's in 10th place. That 5-second penalty at the moment would demote him to 11th behind Lewis Kent, but that may well change before the end of the race. So as he heads out of Copse Corner, I believe we can head back down to the pit lane where Bryn possibly is caught up with Derek Palmer.
And now it hasn't gone to plan. Is it the injector again?
I'm not sure at this moment. There's the engine no changed, and then we obviously lost power, so just stopped it as quickly as I could. I wasn't getting any warnings on the warning in the dash in the car, so I need to figure out what's going on.
Hang on, car number 8, Finlay Crocker has now been given a 5-second penalty as well. So Finlay Crocker, who we've been documenting battling here with Howard Fuller, he's been given a time penalty too for exceeding track limit. One more lap to go, though, for Dan Lloyd. Here's the fight for 3rd, though, and the gap comes down by 0.8 of a second. So is Ollie Taylor running into tyre trouble here, I wonder? Andreas Bachmann senses an opportunity to jump onto the podium. That would be just the start to his season that he wanted, but he's running out of opportunities. Aidan Moffat has been given a 5-second time penalty. We'll come to that in a moment, but Dan Lloyd is going to come through to make history. Daniel Lloyd is the winner of the first ever race in the TCR UK Championship. He is elated with that. Now, Aidan Moffat is 2nd on the road. Is he 2nd on corrected times? Let's find out. No, he is not. Aidan Moffat is 4th on corrected times. Ollie Taylor is 2nd. Andreas Bachmann is 3rd. And Moffat down to 4th. Drama right down to the end. I didn't see what the reason for the 5-second penalty for Moffat was. We can assume probably track limits, but that has a big effect on his result from 2nd down to 4th position.
Dan, the first ever TCR UK winner. How about that?
Yeah, awesome. Really over the moon with that. It was a tough race. It's always hard around here. It's a long race as well. I think 32 laps or something. So, you know, did a good job at the start and got a little bit of a gap, and then just controlled the pace from there, and looking after the tyres. The tyre deg's big around here, so not making any mistakes, so all good.
History has been made. We've had our first ever TCR UK race winner. Now we've got race 2 coming up, and it might be a totally different story with a reverse grid. Straight up to our commentator, Andy McEwan.
It was a fascinating race. Daniel Lloyd took the victory. Initially, we were told that Aidan Moffat, who finished 2nd on the road, had been given a 5-second time penalty, which would have demoted him down to 4th place. That was then reinstated. So this is the official result, with Dan Lloyd the winner. Aidan Moffat did, in the end, finish 2nd, with Oliver Taylor 3rd. And we caught up with Aidan Moffat after race 1.
We're struggling a little with the car. It's a very soft chassis car, which makes particularly sector 2 quite difficult. Those mid to exit on the slow corners. So I was using all the track plus a bit, but the rules kind of dictate that you get that initial warning, and after that it's the 5-second penalty. And yeah, so I was looking for the flag. It never came, so I thought I can just keep on doing what I'm doing, which made it a bit confusing when I seen that I had a penalty. But no, it's been reversed now, so it's good to be on the podium.
Here's confirmation of your grid then. The top 10 second fastest times in qualifying reversed to be Stuart Lyons is on pole position alongside Ollie Kangas, who was very racy in race 1, Andreas Bachmann, one of the early race favourites, and Darrell Wilson, whose race 1 ended in the Beckett's gravel trap. Carl Swift also had a spin. He's 5th on the grid alongside Howard Fuller, Ollie Taylor and Lewis Kent with a now fully working turbo. Dan Lloyd and Aidan Moffat next in line on row 5 ahead of Jessica Bachmann and Finlay Crocker. We've had a really successful start to the season in race 1. What will race 2 bring? Let's find out. The lights go out, away we go, and Andreas Bachmann seems to have made the best start from the front of the grid. He's going to try and shoot the gap up the middle of the 2 Coopers in front of him. He's cleared Kangas, he's cleared Lyons, so Andreas Bachmann leads through Cops Corner for the first time. Lyons and Kangas will run side by side for second position. Look at Dan Lloyd. Dan Lloyd in the white car is charging around the outside, so too is Ollie Taylor, but Dan Lloyd's up to 5th, he's going for 4th, and here comes Aidan Moffat. Aidan Moffat round the outside of Lloyd as well. This could be crucial. Moffat will really want to get past that VW Golf as soon as possible and try to control the race from there, and they will be side by side down the back straight. Bachmann leads, Kangas 2nd, Taylor 3rd by the looks of it, with Stuart Lyons down to 4th, and Moffat and Lloyd go either side of Stuart Lyons. They split him down the middle, and Lloyd is on an absolute tear. He's 3rd. Dan Lloyd is 3rd. He eases Ollie Taylor out wide. Moffat comes through as well up the inside line. Aggressive stuff from Dan Lloyd and Aidan Moffat, but they need to get to the front quickly. Ollie Kangas is the next one in the sights of Dan Lloyd, and that would be remarkably for 2nd place from a 9th on the grid for Dan. So they come through. Bachmann leads by nearly a second over Ollie Kangas 2nd, Dan Lloyd 3rd, Aidan Moffat 4th. Ollie Taylor is there in 5th place, and he'll feel a bit disgruntled after his treatment on that first lap, I think. Lyons is down to 6th, and the next car behind Stuart Lyons is the other DSG Cupra of Carl Swift. That's an important battle to watch for. Andreas Bachmann, he said on the grid he wanted to get the lead at the first corner. It was a textbook start from the Swedish youngster, and he has the early lead, all courtesy of that lightning fast getaway off the line. Now, Dan Lloyd is 2nd. Dan Lloyd has got past Ollie Kangas out of our sight, but he's into 2nd place, and Aidan Moffat is trying to do the same thing on the inside of the Finnish driver. They almost lean on each other through Cops Corner. This is not what Moffat needs, because now Ollie Taylor joins in as well. 3 abreast down towards Beckett's. Moffat's gone through, Taylor's gone through. Now those two need to sort it out between themselves. Kangas tries to get back up the inside as well. Moffat goes through. Taylor will keep Kangas at bay, and they settle themselves down for the time being, but that's just given Dan Lloyd that bit of a break. He's already going off after his teammate. Back through Brooklands come the leaders. A nice, neat and tidy line this time from Bachmann, which does not open the door for Dan Lloyd, but then he runs wide at Luffield. There's a gap up the inside for Dan Lloyd. Did that pay off on the exit of the corner? Not quite, but there might still be an overlap. These cars identical in straight line performance, but Lloyd has the inside line, and Daniel Lloyd is about to move through, potentially into the race lead again. Down towards Cops Corner he goes. Lloyd on the inside, Bachmann on the outside, and Daniel Lloyd has done it from 9th to 1st in 5 laps. Darrell Wilson is looking really racy in the slipstream. The Hyundai, a quick car in a straight line, but that Vauxhall is not sluggish either, and he's almost pushing Kent across the start-finish line. Looks to the inside. Darrell Wilson trying to take away 8th position from the youngster into Cops Corner. Kent will try to turn even if he can, and he does, and that means they're still side by side on the exit. What did Jess Bachmann and the others do? This, remember, is where these two collided in race 1, Lewis Kent and Darrell Wilson, but Wilson gets it this time cleanly. Wilson is through, and Jess Bachmann now launches an attack up the inside of Lewis Kent. Lewis Kent going backwards again, unfortunately, through no fault of his own, really. Here are the leaders, and yes, I thought so. Aidan Moffat is with Andreas Bachmann. He's up the inside of Andreas Bachmann nearly as he heads in towards Beckett. Brooklands, excuse me. But Moffat has really closed in on Andreas Bachmann. Now, the more time he spends stuck behind Bachmann, first of all, the further away Dan Lloyd will get, and also the closer Ollie Taylor will get to him. So this is going to be a very, very interesting situation here. He'll want to get through as swiftly as possible. They've all put a lap on Moffat's teammate, Derek Palmer Jr., so he's out of the way. Lewis Kent is being warned, meanwhile, for exceeding the track limits, but we'll focus on that a moment, because Aidan Moffat is alongside Andreas Bachmann, and in the end, Andreas makes it fairly easy for him. I think he knew that Moffat was quicker, and it almost serves him better to just let Moffat through and try to work together to close in on the leader, because Dan Lloyd has not run off into the distance. He's only 1.6 seconds clear. They could still be able to catch him. Lots of interesting battles developing throughout the field. Now, what's Finlay Crocker going to do? This has been his favourite place to attack all day. Oh, he tries something new this time, goes to the outside. Way too late, Finlay, way too late on the brakes. Tries a bit of grass back onto the track. He kept trying to get up the inside for lap after lap, but then that time tried something different and it didn't pay off. So Moffat and Andreas Bachmann still in the same order, still not quite as quick as Dan Lloyd in front of them. Replay here. Oh, he got very close to the back of Aidan Moffat's car. A bit of contact between the two of them into Luffield. I don't think that was intentional by Andreas. Oh, Aidan Moffat slows down. Aidan Moffat has slowed down from second position. Andreas Bachmann is into second, and Moffat has a problem. Aidan Moffat, I don't believe it, with less than 2 minutes to go, second place has gone by the wayside. What is the problem? This car has run faultlessly all weekend long, and it's grinding to a halt. He's not even going to make it back to the pit lane. Aidan Moffat out of the race. What drama at the end of the second round of the championship. Oh, what a bad moment for the Laser Tools Racing squad, because Derek Palmer's car's in the pit lane now, and the Laser Tools Racing team's race has imploded. Dan Lloyd has been the class of the field this weekend. He's driven imperiously this weekend. He made the start from pole in race 1 and led from lights to flag, but in this one he had some real racing to do, and the speed at which he was able to work his way through the field was remarkable. And with Aidan Moffat's troubles in this race, it will be a maximum points haul at Silverstone for Daniel Lloyd. That is just how he wanted to start his season in 2018. With Daniel Lloyd, a double race victory. Andreas Bachmann second, Oliver Taylor 2 third places, Howard Fuller again 4th place, good consistent day for him, ahead of Ollie Kangas 5th place, having started on the front row, good job from him. Jessica Bachmann really getting racy towards the end of the day, ended up 6th. Darryl Wilson survived this race in almost one piece in 7th place, ahead of Stuart Lyons, who wins the DSG trophy.
An amazing start, one of the best first laps I've ever done, and sometimes you just know when you're on it, and I've been on it all weekend, and I just had one focus from the start. I was 100% confident. I know what I wanted to do and went for it, and it paid off, yeah.
It was a really good race. It was very hard to pass the guy in second, but then in the end his car broke down, so then it was free for me to go in second place, but it was really good.
I made a good start and was ahead of Aidan and Dan, but Dan snuck a move through at Brooklands, and before you knew it, Aidan was up the inside, and after that, unfortunately, didn't quite have the pace to stay with him. It's unfortunate Aidan obviously had some sort of issue there, but 2 thirds, yeah, great start to the year.
Well, that's it from Silverstone for the first rounds of TCR UK. And Dan Lloyd taking both those race wins, but it wasn't all about Dan Lloyd. There were plenty of battles throughout the course of the races, and we hope for more when we fly off to Bonnie, Scotland to Knock Hill. We'll see you there.